You have been prepared. I don't want you to be baby Christians. That just because Jesus refused to answer your prayer, you say you want to backslide. Apostle Shedrack, no, there's one of our friends. I mean, they are the ones that go for all these serious, rugged rural evangelism. One of our friends, he was at a mission field in Tungamaji. Brother Leviticus. A graduate decided to give his life to God. Say, me, I want to serve God. Married to the mission field, live there, give birth to children there, suffering. We were together prior before a tragedy, and he said, God said he want to reward him. And God said he had only 1 year to serve in the mission field. Afterward, he's going to reward him. And I felt maybe God is planning one big thing, for this man. I've worked with quite some evangelists. This guy, heart is for the Lord. Heart of service, humility, and genuine love for God. One day, Fulani men gather. They rise up in rage, went to their mission field, look upon this guy and his family. A son that was just, is he 3-year-old? Or how many years? 3-year-old. Look upon this innocent boy, open fire on him, shoot him. He was crying and why? They fire him too. Of course, his wife escaped. But sincerely speaking, that was the reward he got from God. Is God faithful? Yes. Because the blood of the martyrs is the seed for the gospel. In years to come, you are going to hear that mighty people rose in that same place. But it's going to be too late because our eyes are blinded to what is going on. Most of the radical men of God rose in the days of persecution. If you have never been challenged, if you have never been resisted, if your seeking for God is always comfortable, palatable, there are certain echelon in this journey you will never reach. You will value it much more when there is a certain level of pain, when there is a certain level of suffering in it. And that's why Jesus made a striking statement. And I want us to consider that in line with our discourse. Still under the persecution, the University of Tears. There is a whole beauty that comes when you cry, when you shed tears. In your journey of Christianity, you are going to cry several times. And I've told you last week, tears is not a sign that you are weak. It's a lie. Yes, it's part of the sign that you are a human being, but there is always strength hidden inside of it. And by the time you are done crying, you always awake one that is stronger. People don't cry forever. In fact, true leaders cry in secret. They may not cry in the presence of their followers, but they do in secret. But those moments of pain and cry make them who they are. I want your heart to be prepared that in the days when it looks as though God has slain us, yet we can praise him. The beauty of the sacrifice of Job was that in the midst of how God was permitting those kind of persecution becloud him, he was still willing to say the Lord is God. Say, even though he slay me, yet will I praise him. How many of us can go through such kind of pains and yet again be willing to say God is real? Many of you, your boyfriend made you cry. Your academics made you cry. You look upon your result, you weep, you shed tears. Your boyfriend made you cry. Your father made you cry. Your mother made you cry. Do you realize that it's okay to shed some tears in your pursuit for God? It's a beautiful sacrifice. And like I said, if it is God you are pursuing, you are going to cry several times. There will be moments and time when you are fasting, there is no food to eat. As you are praying, tears will come out of your eyes. But that is a drink offering unto the Lord. Part of the things that make the immortals glad is the tears of men. Jesus stood by the grave of Lazarus. And he shed tears. And when he was done crying, he said, Father, I thank you because I know before I call upon you, you will answer. Lazarus, comfort. When you are done crying, you are awake unto kingdom responsibility. It's okay to cry. But when you are done, find the strength in the midst of it. In the days of persecution, we are going to shed tears. We are going to cry. Jesus Christ was laid to be slaughtered. He cried. They beat him. He went through all kinds of things. But out of the ashes of that dying, out of the ashes of that pain, no soldier go through training without bruises. They are going to be wounded several times. You cannot find yourself in a barracks, find yourself in a cantonment, find yourself in a training center and you say you don't want to be injured. You are going to be injured. Sometimes you're going to have some broken bones. And all of those protocols are put in place to bring you to a point of maturity so that you can be able to endure pain. So Jesus Christ speaking in the book of Matthew 16. From 24. He said, then Jesus said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Matthew 16, right? 24. Jesus said, if anyone will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life, he shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man's profit if he shall gain the whole world and loses his own soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his life? I know you have a life and you feel your life is so important. But I want to let you understand that your life only began in God. I don't care how long you have been existing. You have never existed. In the beginning is God. And anytime there is no God at your very beginning, you have never begun. Every genuine repentance comes with the shedding of tears with cry. Part of your first journey in God, most times is shedding of tears. When a child is born, the child cries. When the child is crying, we are happy. A child is born. Yet again, the child was crying. So the tears that the child was shedding, and he was weeping and crying, it was never a sign of weakness. It was actually a clarion call that a destiny has been bettered. So anytime you find yourself crying, peradventure, as a result of a travailing, as a result of a pain, as a result of a trial, know that a destiny has been bettered.